What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Nimbo back at it again. Uh, this sample, I feel like it's giving me ODEAL, blame you kind of vibes. So now, as usual, first thing I did, I started off with the chords, and so I got the Polymax, which I got for free, by the way. UAD, like they were running, I think a promo or something, and then I got it for free. I don't know if that promo is still going on, but then in this specific case, what I did was, so I used a MIDI in this situation. I used Loop Kitchen free samples, and I don't remember which one, but I used one of these. And I'm like, so usually I change MIDI. If I use a MIDI, I would usually add onto it or remove some stuff. But in this case, I'm like, man, I like the way the MIDI just sounded default. So I didn't do anything to it, didn't change it, didn't do nothing at all. Because it's like sometimes you don't have to pressure yourself to feel like you have to change every MIDI that you use. If it's fire, it's fire, man. You know what I mean? But with all that being said, here are the chords. Some people may say it's cheating. I don't think so, because every every kind of chord progression that I came up with, I didn't feel it. I didn't like it. That's why I ended up using a MIDI. And then the only thing I have on this, I think, if I remember, it's a parametric EQ to cut the lows. Left it the way it was, just a parametric EQ. And then moving on to the next sound, which I believe I used decent sampler on this. Yes, decent sampler. I got the folk art violin. Now the chords are kind of harsh, you know what I mean? And that was intentional. Now coming into the violin, it's very smooth, kind of in the background. I wanted that contrast, that harshness from the chords, and then I have the violin to smooth it out. And both of them so far sounds like this. Now, the next thing that I did was the vocals. Like my previous videos, I knew I was going to put the vocals in the background. So, without any effects, this is what the vocal sounds like. This is my vocal, by the way. And now, what I have on here is I got on auto tune, and then I have parametric EQ, box it in, cut the highs and the lows, and then I got a plate verb on this, which I'm using the plate verb to really put it in the background. And now this is what the vocals sound like after all the effects. The goal was not to have words, but more of like to add melody to both the chords and the violin, to add kind of movement. The next thing, which in this situation, I'm like, I have my chords and I have my violin, and I wanted some melodic element, just like the vocal. But the thing with the vocal is that they're in the background. So I wanted something that was not in the background and that had some melodic nature to it, some momentum to it. That's when I got the F environment from the Prince, and this is what it sounds like alone. Moving on to the next thing, which was also I got the Polymex again. This is a very interesting sound. As you can see, I'm not overloading it or expanding my notes like this, or because it has an arpeggiator nature to it, and I'm only doing it at certain parts, certain moments in the sample. And then I got the bass, what I usually use for the bass, which is motor bass, the violin bass. I love this bass. And then I consolidated it, pitched it down 1200 cents, and now it sounds like this. And I didn't even add anything to the bass, which leads me to the B section. I didn't do too much. What I did was, well, I took out the vocals, and everything is pretty much the same. Oh no, my bad. Before the B section, I got the last part on this, which I got the DSK, the brass, and I'm playing a simple melody. So I did this long recording. So I came up with this long recording first, and I only used this section because I felt like it's the only part that I wanted to use. My bad again. I used two parts, which is this one and this one. And the rest I didn't use. Section B now. And for section B, like I said, I removed the vocals for this part, and everything is pretty much the same, except I added an extra melody, which is the Prince, the classify theme key. And that's it. I only have, how many things do I have here? What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's only 8 things. And from here, you can easily just add like drums, simple drums that go crazy. You know what I mean? I realize with people like ODEAL, well, now he's having a lot of things that are having like saxophones and some trumpets in some situations. But when you listen to, like I said, Blame You by him, it's very simple. You know what I mean? He's probably having like 2, 3 things going on in the melody. So me having 8 things, I'm like doing a lot. The 92, 95 BPM range, that's where you want to mess around for this specific kind of sound. And yeah, and then there you have it. You know what I mean? Appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you again. Like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one.